Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. It is a huge Monday here. Live trading coming right at you. Ryan's going to bring you home. We're going to make some money. Huge day here in Michigan, though. We've got Michigan going for a national.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Hello and welcome, everybody, and happy Monday. How are you folks doing out there? I'm Ryan, and I'm back for another exciting week of live trading. We're going to go ahead and get at it. See a whole bunch of returning faces, and I have a special guest for you again. Friend of the program, 13 is here with me to trade. 13, how you doing on this Monday?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little tired because I get up earlier now, so I'm about as sharp as a spoon. So we'll see how that goes today.
Okay. Sharp as a spoon. That is how we're going to start off on Monday. That's for sure. By the way, congratulations on your Packers making the playoffs, beating my pathetic Chicago Bears. So glad that's
very big of you. I appreciate that.
Glad we have the door closed on this season.
We have an awesome division. Let me just say that. We have an awesome division.
Good morning, everybody. Shelly, it's great to see you live from the HQ. So you're not going to get anybody this week, but I promise if you come back next week when I'm back at home, you will see him because he has been crashing the party on the regs, as the kids say. So you will be able to see Buddy not here while I'm in the office at the HQ. Gary, go blue. Good to see you. You know, I wasn't going to show up on Natty Day without my Michigan gear. I mean, come on. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the market. Let's see what's going on. A lot of stuff going on here. Let me go ahead and we're actually going to first start with trade the pool here. So really quickly, and I might have to actually adjust the screen a little bit here for trade the pool. But in any case, still carrying the, this is just flipped. Let me figure out how to fix that for you here. Sorry, new computer. So everything is a little bit different. Boy, I'm gonna need. Is it backwards on the screen for you guys?
It looks fine to me, but that's because I'm in the stream.
Yeah, I just think that it is turned over. Okay. Anyway,
no, you're good. Hi, everyone.
It's good. Okay. Thanks, producer. Thank you very much. It just looks weird on my screen. Anyway, carrying TGTX, that's still working. No other positions. However, we will be looking to put more positions on. So again, the stream is sponsored by Trade the Pool. We're going to be using that here to trade. That is the platform that you see here. Quick shout out. New year, if you're looking for something new in your trading game, maybe you're having some trouble getting above that pattern day trade, please check out Trade the Pool, prop firm that's going to allow you to get around that and practice your trading style. You can get up to 260K of buying power. And the greatest part is that they're in this channel to support us. So be sure to check that out. Now, as far as new trades here today, we are absolutely going to be looking for some new opportunities here. Let me go ahead and get that added here. All right. And we'll remove this temporarily. All right. So a couple of things. First of all, we're going to start with Zim. And 13, I know you've got some stuff on Zim. You've been trading this one back and forth. We've been on this one for a while. Happy Hour's been all over this one. This is tied to shipping rates. Obviously, there's a big macro event that's driving that. But today here, we actually see Zim selling off 13.6%. Can you tell us what's going on here with Zim?
Well, one of the things that we've had just before we had news come out was that Zim was already pretty overbought. It had an RSI, a daily RSI of near 80 as of Friday. So that's one thing. So it did need to cool off anyway. But we got some news about how it shares a joint line with Costco, not Costco, but COSCO. And they may have to look for an alternative to share that. So basically what's going to happen is they are getting their joint lines that they share with other shippers. They're going to have to find an alternative line. That may affect revenues. We have an article that I think we could link that may help people better understand what's going on with Zim right now. But the concern is that because of the joint line that's affected with them, they may see lowered revenue as a result. Now, that isn't to say that shipping rates aren't going to continue going up. So that could be the other side of the coin. We'll have to look into that some more and see what's going on with that. But for now, that's why it's selling off.
Okay, awesome. That headline, by the way, is in Benzinga Pro for all you Benzinga Pro users. I went ahead and posted that here in the chat if you want to check that out. Looking forward here, I mean, to me, it seems like Zim might be on deck here, right? I know we're selling off here with 13%. You can see it's actually already tried to bounce pretty nicely off that 12 handle, came all the way back to the VWAP and got rejected there. We'll see what happens when the market actually opens. This stock has moved back and forth with some ferocity, so I'm expecting a lot of the same here today. 13, I don't necessarily have any levels set up, and I definitely want to see how this behaves around the opening print. But let's keep our eye on Zim because I suspect that in play here quite a bit.
Yeah, and I'll just go on and say that this morning in pre-market, we went down to a consolidation level from the day of the 3rd, so about 5 days ago. There was consolidation right around this area, so we've come down to that demand zone. So it could bounce from there, but it is forming a bit of a bear flag. So I'd be just cautious at the open and see what it does.
Okay, yeah, I think waiting that out is probably going to be pretty good. But like I said, keep this one on your watch list today. All right, let's talk over a couple more tickers, and then we'll go ahead and jump into what you folks have. Before I actually hit the movers here, again, Trade the Pool, sponsor of this program. We've got a couple of stocks here that we're going to take a look at. First one is going to be Mara. All right, so this is Marathon Digital. Of course, this moves with Bitcoin. This is one of those Bitcoin names. We can actually see Mara trading up here today. Mara has actually been a great trader for us in the past. So let's see how this actually behaves. Bitcoin, I actually don't have Bitcoin on my screen here. Let me try and get that up real quick on a different screen. We'll talk about the Bitcoin price here real quick. Bitcoin futures strong here this morning. We'll see if this ends up continuing and if we get some more trades here on Mara, but looking good. Real quick, let me give you the support and resistance levels that we have there. We've got resistance at 2570, so that's actually just above the pre-market high that we've made here today. And we have support at 24. So you can see we really kind of came off that support level. We were a little bit beneath it here this morning, but we reclaimed that. So maybe a trade against 24 will work here. We had a very similar situation here in coin. Obviously, coin also moving with Bitcoin. Or with the price of Bitcoin, excuse me, you can see a very, very similar chart formation. Coin looking like this is going to try to be strong. One of the things I want to see with some of these Bitcoin names is we've seen a reversal reaction from whatever the pre-market is. So let's see if this continues. Definitely worth paying attention to some of the Bitcoin names. And then the other thing, and the big piece of news from over the weekend is the news with Boeing. Okay, so I know that a lot of people that were on Twitter saw that there was a report that Boeing shares are trading lower after an exit door blew out of a 737 aircraft during a commercial flight. I mean, Boeing, it feels like they cannot catch a break. Anytime things look pretty good, we get some type of bad news headline about the MAX or another plane. In this case, an exit door blowing out. I mean, I just traveled here to Detroit. I can't imagine how I would feel if the exit row blew out. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. You can see Boeing down here about 8% here today. This looking like it might retest those lows. I wouldn't be surprised, especially given that event that just happened. If we take a look at the daily chart here, you can see we pretty much just gapped down and took out a whole bunch of this recent run up. And actually, one of the things that I wanted to draw here is I wanted to see if maybe this lines up with a level. Okay, not quite, not very, very clean, but let's keep an eye on some of these Boeing levels here. Boeing might be on deck here for a potential trade. Any thoughts on the Boeing trade here today? I know you follow defense quite a bit, 13. Does this change anything for you?
I'm looking at the well, nobody died, so I think that's the big positive. So I guess we can maybe make some jokes, but the good positive here is that we did bounce off. We're testing the 50-day SMA right now, and I think we could end up filling that gap on the way back up. But whether we keep going, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But I'd be looking for that gap fill off this 50-day SMA bounce. And we also have a pretty low RSI, so that's another reason why I think we could see some positive after the sell-off that we had here.
Okay, we did have some support at 243, which it looks like we've blown through. Also, some previous support at 251. We'll see what levels we recover here. We'll see what types of candles Boeing puts in when the market actually opens here. Now, let me take a look at some of the movers here. I just want to run through a couple of the bigger movers here. We'll talk about them. We'll get that set up. HARP going to be the first one. This is ticker HARP. This is Harpoon Therapeutics. You can see that this actually popped here this morning. We're pinned right around this 22.23. The news here on this is that they're in advanced stages for a merger. So we had a note here. Bloomberg reported earlier that Merck is in advanced talks to buy Harpoon Therapeutics for $23 a share. Now, the reason that I'm mentioning this is because it says that they're in advanced talks. As far as I'm aware, so this is an update they have now. I see it in the feed here. So sorry, when I was preparing a little bit earlier today, this wasn't there, but it looks like this is now updated, and it's $680 million on an all-cash deal. So Harpoon up 110% here. Might not be another trade for it. Looks like $23 was the buy price. 13, one of the things that I was saying is that 2024 might be a year for some of these biotechs. We've seen now a couple of biotechs get bought out here. I think this bodes well for this sector going forward, don't you?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was going through the scanners today. I saw HARP, and then probably the next one you're going to talk about, AM. Same thing. So I was like, okay, well, looks like Ryan was really onto something. That's two biotechs being acquired by larger biotech companies. And then we have some other biotechs moving on other news as well. But I think you're onto something there. I think you got that right. We're seeing a lot of acquisitions. It's just right out of the gate, Monday morning, two big ones.
Yeah, and so AM is the other one that you mentioned here.
Yep.
That one is also a merger here. That's up 98%. So the big key here is what's going to be next, right? And if I knew that next one, we'd be talking about that a lot. Let's try to keep our eyes open. It's just worth noting that there is some M&A activity going on in the biotech space here early in 2024. Now, I don't know how much trading we're actually going to have in some of these where the merger's already been announced, but let's take a look at some of the other stocks that are moving here. I noticed Rick in the chat. Good morning, Rick. Happy Monday. You were mentioning Acon earlier. Acon, smaller price stock here. Nice big move. You can see this stock was just under a 3 handle. Got a news story here today. Popped Acon. We went as high as $7. We've really backed off that high spot, but we've done a good job holding above the VWAP. You can see our first regression to the mean took us below the VWAP. Buyers took us right back above, and now we've used that VWAP as support. So let's see how long this VWAP actually holds up as support into the regular session here today. If I flip over to the news panel here today, you can see Aclarion and ATEC execute a strategic partnership agreement to advance commercialization of Nokiscan. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Acon up 106% here, so keep that in mind if you're going to trade it. We want to really be careful here. Some nice movement here again in Aclarion. So that one is going here. Next ticker on the list here is going to be Spectair Holdings. This ticker is SPEC. We are trading up here. We actually printed as high as 435, 436. The high print here. We've really kind of come back in, but the good news here is that we're holding right around the VWAP. So let's see what the next move is here. A reclaim of this VWAP, maybe a test of 3, some expanding volume, and we might have something on our hands here. Ticker SPEC. Now, a couple other here that I want to run through real quick, and then we'll go and take a look here at the chat. Next one here is going to be Vinc. It's ticker VINC. This is Vincerix Pharma. You can see this actually popped as high as 217. Again, we've kind of come back. The one notable thing here that's different than Acon is that this is already showing a little bit of weakness. We were able to get above that VWAP, but we were not able to hold above that VWAP, and now we should use that as resistance. So again, want to see how this actually looks when the regular market opens, and we'll go from there. AXNX, this is another one here that's up. This is Exonic shares are trading higher after the company announced a deal to be acquired by Boston Scientific. So a flurry of M&A here today. We'll see how that affects other stocks here. Mystery Man, I got you. Don't worry. I will tell him. And I was like we said last week when he came on here, this will not be the last that you hear from him. This is a time to be happy for our man who is trying to advance his career. So I will absolutely send the kind words. Thank you very much for saying that. No problem at all. Okay. CLRB. That's another one here that's popping this up about 18%. We've traded CLRB a number of times before. You can see the big move actually happened earlier here in the pre-market. We've done a good job. We came back into this level and bounced. Let's see if we still have some of that strength or if the big move's already out of the way. Again, a lot of these just going to kind of be watches around the open, not necessarily just buying them right out of the open. Now, okay, that's about all I have here for the movers list. 13, were there any stocks that you wanted me to go over here real quick? And then I'll go ahead and take some tickers from the chat.
No, you covered all the ones that I had any notes for. The only thing about SPEC is that I really couldn't find any news on it. And so I started looking at other things like short interest, reverse splits, low float. A lot of data not available on this one. Not even the float was available, but I did see that the outstanding shares about 15 million. So that would lead me to believe that this is just getting pushed around on low float.
Okay. And we've seen plenty of those before. They can actually make some pretty good trades, but it's just important to kind of keep in mind what's actually driving that. Monica wants to take a look at MSOS. Let me go ahead and pull that up here. That is the cannabis ETF. So I know cannabis, this is definitely a trade that a lot of people want to get involved in. I do think personally, I think that there is a large move coming at some point in the future, but the story here has been the same for a number of years. When is that move actually going to be positioned? When is that move actually going to take place? Excuse me. The one thing that I can say is that one of the better things for positioning might be to do it through an ETF. And if we take a look here, you can see that this actually traded up on Friday. We're a little bit weak in the pre-market here. If we flip over to a daily chart, none of these cannabis ETFs really look all that great. They look pretty beaten down, frankly. The good news here is that maybe we actually have a bottom put in. So we might have a daily chart here where MSOS is actually coming off the bottom. THCX, I believe, is another cannabis ETF. I don't really have a lot. I'd like to hear from you folks if you guys have any type of line on the cannabis market or the cannabis trade. I'll be honest. I don't. It just seems tough to predict for me. It really seems tough to predict for me. I don't know when this big move is going to come.
We've been waiting for. Sorry, we've been waiting for something to make the big move in cannabis for almost 3 years now, maybe 4. Since we started getting all the hype around cannabis possibly being descheduled or legalized. I think it's going to be an election year issue along with Bitcoin.
I agree with you.
Some things to put on your radar as we get further into that cycle.
Yeah. Now, as far as so that's a really good point, 13. So as far as the election year cycle, I do think that's going to cause some of these to move around. But I will say I don't necessarily have I can't say, well, if this happens, and for sure this is going to happen, and it's going to be these stocks that are affected by that. I don't yet know. I'm going to kind of watch the sector as a whole. But I agree with you. I think as we get closer to the election, you might see some of these issues flare up, and you might see that get reflected in the stock price. Yeah. So we'll see what's going on there. Okay, good stuff there on MSOS. Jay Harris, we did take a look at Mara already. We'll continue to watch Bitcoin. I actually got Bitcoin here on another chart, so I'll try to keep that open during the course of the day here. We'll keep our eye on that. Mara should provide us trading opportunities with that. Okay, now we're less than 2 minutes. We're about a minute from the open here. Let me flip over to my main workspace. We got Sassy. This was actually a smoke tuna call from last week, a little bit higher here today on low volume. We'll see what ends up happening when the market opens here. Sassy, this one, again, left over from last week. So let's see what happens here. Looks like Acon already getting some more action here on the relative volume scanner. This one's definitely going to be a watch. We'll see if this breaks higher. For me right now, 7 looks to be like a spot. One of the things, again, that I'm going to kind of focus on here is these high-a-day breaks. We talked a lot about this last week. Buying the high-a-day breaks for a potential day trade has been tough to do, right? Those pops are very, very fast if they materialize at all. You're almost better off buying pullbacks. So I'm going to look for support levels, especially in a stock that's up 100% here in the pre-market. So let's take a look and see what's going on. What else is going on out there? We're going to keep up with the chat here. Looks like you folks.
We got about 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't have a whole lot here before the casino opens. So good luck here today, folks. Let's go ahead and get it. I'm actually going to flip over to Trade the Pool real quick here. Let me go ahead and do this one. Sorry, 13. Then we'll do this. There we go.
Like Acon's trying to make it out of the gate here. It's going to have to try to break that 678-ish in order to really take off.
All right, and let me go ahead and get this open and this.
Not happening. Vince, not moving. Zim, kind of had some volume at the open, but now it's just stopped. Did this get halted? No, it didn't.
Acon all over the place here. Looks like this is, yeah, see, so I definitely want to wait for this to tighten up. Now, remember, we set a 7 bust here. This really all over the place here. Just kind of watching the ladder here on Trade Pool. Acon might be coming back in here a little bit.
Let's see if it can hold VWAP.
Yeah, let's see what type of bottom it can hold and go from there. See if I can get a little bit more here.
Looks like Nexi, which is interesting. It's not hasn't moved very much, only about 6 to 7%, but it had a nice move out of the open. It's just not a whole lot of volume right after that. Some of these old names, they just tend to come back.
Yeah, kudos to you for keeping an eye on them. By the way, TGTX popping above that 20 level. We talked about TGTX a lot. That swing really, really working out here. Good stuff there on TGTX. Crow calling VINC. Good morning, Crow. Hopefully you had a good weekend. Let's see what VINC is doing here this morning. Up here around 166. How much? So this is trying to go higher here. I've got some size at 175 on VINC.
Yeah, I had, there's that one, and then there's an even bigger one at about 190.
And here's your 15-minute chart. So 175, I've got that size at, but really, if we break out of this formation here, I got that at 171. It'll be interesting to see if VINC gets rolling here. Crow, would love to know what types of levels you're looking at this. Is it Colmex Pro? No. This is actually Trade the Pool. This is the sponsor of this stream here. This is a prop firm. Really great software. One of the things that you will notice here, it's got a lot of similar tools to other brokers. This might be one of the questions that led to your, excuse me, one of the things that led to your question here. For me, the big thing here is the ladder. It's pretty much just out of Thinkorswim. I already know how to use it. By the way, VINC here testing that 170 level. Let's see if it breaks out and goes higher here. VINC. I'm looking at it at a 3-minute chart here as well, kind of flipping back and forth. MACD histogram looks really strong. Let's see if we can get a push here. Jay Rice saying TGTX, you're welcome. Indeed. Thank you. TGTX, definitely a good one. You know, this is not the first time that I've traded TGTX, but this is actually one of the more profitable trades that I've had on TGTX. Also worth noting, in my main account, I had calls that I've completely closed out weeks ago. So good stuff there. You're welcome, Nir. No problem. No problem. And Akil, if you're out there, say hello. Go ahead, 13. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just saying, I've tried Vince, got it stopped out, so flat on that one-on-one trade. Thought it was going to go a little bit higher, but it's getting that resistance right up at the 65 EMA on the 5-minute.
Okay. No trades yet, so I'm going to temporarily move back to Benzinga Pro here. We'll take a look at the scanner. When we get something that we're going to take a look at, I'll go ahead and jump back over to Trade the Pool, and we'll take a look at some of those levels and execution. Acon here, by the way, back to VWAP. Looks like it's trying to break beneath it. Be careful. If we want to see this confirm before we're able to scalp this to the upside. Crow, just like me, by the way, I like to start the day with small scalps. Me too, Crow. If you can get some green on the screen, that does a lot for my confidence and is really well going forward, or allows me to trade better going forward, I should say. Smoke Tuna, good morning. Happy Monday. Hopefully you had a great weekend as well.
VINC.
Sassy ticking up here. VINC, let me get that. That's that 170 test. Yep.
Yes, sir. Still getting that resistance at the 65 EMA, but we move past that, and we're going to go right to 175 where that size is. Acon breaking down a little bit further, but trying to not as quickly. It looks like Acon might have some good support at about $5. So if this comes down, I maybe take a second look at that level. Shopify is moving up out of the gate.
You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to stagger these. I'm going to get Acon in one of the screens. I apologize for the. All right,
there we go.
Here's VINC still watching that 170 level.
That is a rejection. That's 65 EMA. That's a rejection. Look at that go.
Big pull here on Acon.
Yeah, tried to get up there.
Big pull on VINC as well. Sorry, 13. I think I'm having some.
It's okay.
Office.
Let's talk over each other. Let's talk over each other as much as we can. Next is slow, but still, trickling up. It's a slow melt up in NEXI. Very, very low volume. VINC went down.
One of the things that I'm noticing here about Nexi 13 is that this seems to be a lot more calm for a trade than it was last week. Now that could change at any moment here, but we'll see.
It's just that doesn't seem like there's a whole lot at this Monday open right now to really grab a hold.
No, it doesn't.
Oh yeah, this is going.
And VINC, by the way, look out. This actually could break lower here. We just took out lows of the day. VINC might be going lower.
And as Jay Summers pointed out, Acon is halted. SNGX, what's that one looking like?
Yeah, that's what I was just bringing up here too. Man, I am having all kinds of internet issues here. I apologize.
We work with what we got.
And that's right.
Yeah, so there's that supply zone that SNGX is trying to make its way through. What did this run on? I didn't check the news on this one. Spec is being flagged by the chat. Let's see why. Okay. I see why.
Let me see if I get better results here with Trade the Pool. Here is SPEC. That is breaking higher here. High print here, 3 on the day. Let's see if we go higher on SPEC.
This is the one that was getting pushed around.
Chart. I have a next target here about 330. There's your 3.
Yep. Here we go up to that next level of supply.
On SPEC. Good call on this. Whisk, Crow, you guys were all over this. That 3 break. I was a little too slow here, but still watching this. Let's see if we take out. There we go. Some new highs here. I think we got 332, your next spot here on SPEC. I'm actually going to watch and see if this pulls back and holds. There's your pull.
Yeah, probably looking at about 285. There's a pullback level at the most that you want to see here in this one, I believe.
But if we get that and we hold it, that should be good going forward.
Yep. Good number of sell orders coming in, a little bit above 3.
Let me see if I can add some indicators to this. And again, I had a new setup here coming to the office. Let's go ahead and get VWAP on there. Let's go ahead and get that MACD on there.
VINC is still holding that level at about where's it at? About the high 150s. It's just floating up there. I think if we get down to the 200 EMA, which is about 148, 149, that would be the support that I'd be looking for in VINC to come back up. But that's the level I have for now.
SPEC looks like it's finding some resistance here at 310. It's really not able to take that out. Maybe we'll get our pullback in our entry here. SPEC. Here's your pullback into the 2s. What was the level that you had? 280. What was that?
For which one? For SPAC?
For SPEC, yeah. You said you'd want it to hold a 280 handle or some level in there if this was going to keep going. Unless I was having a.
Okay, I thought I was talking about a different one, but
the tickers.
Yeah, that 280 looks pretty good because that's where the next demand zone is. It starts about there. This is going up higher though.
Here we go. Yep, here we go.
Great call.
See, I don't want to buy these breaks though because there's just kind of want to wait.
Because you're buying the top.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. There we go. 285 on spec. Thanks, Lynn. 285, Tariq. Thank you. You guys, just always using you guys to check my memory here.
Webcoin is saying CYCC. I'm going to take a look at that one.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so it had a drop in
Yeah.
pre-market.
Maybe if we take out 270 here, this spread about 6 cents. CY's. I like this setup here. Smoke Tuna mentioning GOEV. Let me pull that up on a different chart so I can keep an eye on something. Bitcoin, by the way, holding its level here. GOEV 30 cent, but that is near the highs on good volume here this morning. Smoke Tuna, I'm going to probably pass on that one, but that volume looking decent here for a penny name.
Yeah, Canoe. I remember this one back in like 2001 when the EVs were taking off. It used to be a lot more. Spec is moving still pretty nicely. We're about to really move in this one. It looks like if we can get past, I'd say about 320. If we can get past 320 and hold that, it could probably match the pre-market, but we'll see.
It just. See, I'm looking at the chart here, and I'm looking at this 3-minute chart here, right? And it's looking like it's kind of feels heavy up here. But that can change in a heartbeat. Here we go. We'll see if it comes right back onto the high volume. Still looking good. MACD looking good. Looking good in here.
Yeah, so far spec looks like the probably most
there we go.
exciting one right now. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, now each time it's setting new highs by a couple of cents here, it's pulling back. So I'm actually wondering if we get maybe a larger pull here that kind of shakes out some of those weak hands. You can see where some of this resistance would be on some of these longer time frame charts. This hourly chart here has some pretty clear resistance right up here at 332. But to me, it sure looks like this is getting heavy up here. We'll see. BNZI, Let me take a look at that in a different chart here as well. That is curling. That was big last week, BNZI.
All right, spec almost at 320. I want to see what happens if we can get above that because there's some good.
Yeah, I want to see if we get a pull here. That would really be something.
A pull and then maybe some support from VWAP.
Yep. Jay Summers, inspec 295 out at 311. Great scalp through 3 there. By the way, that 295 entry is kind of the same level that I'm looking at right here. I got VWAP at 298. If we get a pull and we shake some weak hands and hold that VWAP, might be another chance at a scalp there. Jay Summers already on this. Absolutely love to see it. We're hitting him early. Green on the screen. Crow told you early. Trying to get some small scalps early. Oh, come on.
It's funny. The one that's with the least news is the most exciting for me right now. SPEC.
Hey, but it didn't we say it didn't really look like a whole lot going on here? By the way, where's Brian? Let me put that on a different chart here. I kind of want to
we keep
going here today.
We keep getting a notification about NVIDIA, so I'm going to take a look at that because we're talking all-time highs on this one. Yeah, I guess tech is back. I
mean, that seems to be back and forth with the depending on which way the wind blows.
Yeah.
Spec still doing a good job chewing through some of this up here. I really would like to see a pull before loading this. I'm going to flip through some other tickers. Yeah, I was just going to say I'm going to flip through some other tickers here. Chat doing a great job.
Yes, they are.
Throwing us here. SLDB. Yeah, that is moving. That was a nice move through 7 there.
Not taking this one right now.
Yeah, through 7 was the move.
And it's good about to go through 8 if it can do another 3,500 shares.
AISP I don't have in Trade the Pool Tuna. Alan wanted to take a look at MO. Is that moving here? Let me just take a brief look at that.
Okay, so VINC just went down to 200.
actually, so if you take a
Oh,
go ahead. We have
delay.
a massive delay. It's tough.
We do have
But
delay.
go
I
ahead
just
on
noticed that.
VINC.
VINC just went down beneath its 200 EMA on the 5 minutes. I would be looking to see if we can get back above it in the next 5 minutes, and if not, then maybe it's going to have to be later, probably about whenever it comes down to the 130s for a reversal, because I don't see any other support beyond beneath that.
Sorry, I'm just trying to clear up that delay if we can really quickly here on MO. This is Altria. Alan wanted to take a look at this. So first of all, taking a look at the daily chart here, we got a really decent flag here, right? We really kind of came off this bottom that looks like we bounced pretty clean off of 40. We're flagging right in here at 41.50. This does look like this wants to break higher, but we really want to kind of get out of this trend of lower highs here. I don't have a day trade on this. I don't have a longer term on this, but these charts actually look pretty good. Hourly sure looks like 41, let's call it 41.75 maybe. That area right in there, 41.75. If we break that, maybe we can try to set some new recent highs here. MACD looks good on the 3 minute here on MO. No position here, but looks like this might go higher here. Okay, spec flushing. I see the chat. Let me bring that back up here. Here's your flush. Okay, let's see what this does here. Remember, I've got VWAP at 296. We're currently at 290. Let's see here. I'm going to get some order entry ready.
Looks like it's got some good bids at 287. So there's your support level.
There's 287. Let's see if it holds here.
I'm gonna try some right here. See if we can get a bounce.
Yeah. So, yep. So am I. Let's see if we can get that. I marketed in here real quick. I just went 300. I went a little bit small here. Oops. And you know what else I noticed is that this doesn't have settings. Add view. Close. Apply. There we go. Now we're good. Okay, we got that close button. Okay, so here we go. So let's see if we now bounce off this VWAP area. Again, going small, trying to get this, trying to get some green on the screen here. We'll see. Maybe we get a bounce. Now I have the high print here still at 318. Let's see if we get back up there. First step that we need to do here is take out that 3 level. You're welcome, Alan. Spec on my broker for selling only. Interesting. Acon open. Jay, I'll take a look at that here in a sec. Let me actually bring that up on a different screen. I'll kind of keep an eye on it, corner of my eye. Acon moving lower, by the way, on that open.
Spec ticked above VWAP just a moment ago. Sorry, my phone's noisy.
No, that's that. It sounded like a robo update there.
You played Quake 2 before, right?
Many moons ago, my friend. Okay, I'm actually gonna set a stop loss on this trade. I'm gonna go right beneath the bottom of this candle just in case we fall out of bed here. I've got that at 2.
It's back to that same level that we were buying at.
2. I'm putting that stop at 283. So we're going to go right under that 285 support. This will just be a small loss if we take it, but otherwise we should be all set. All right, let's see if this can get a bounce in here. Okay, let me get back to the chat here. Again, kind of bouncing all over the place. So Crow saying stopped out of Acon, but SLDB is making it all up.
Yeah, and they got halted.
I'm sorry, 13. Go ahead.
SLDB got halted after that 8 break.
Okay, so yeah,
great mention on that
to the upside. Big move. Awesome job on SLDB. I can actually pull that off the screen here briefly since I have the stop set. Let's take a look at that together. SLDB. Whew. Whoever caught that one, man, that's 7 break. Oh, right. We talked about that at the 7 break into the first halt. Now we have the next halt up higher. Okay, so this one just straight up missed then, at least on my end here. Great job at the chat hitting this one. Let's see where it opens. Jay, good shout on that one. Sorry, I had that pulled off my screen here. Looks like spec is working. There's 3, so we retook 3. Let's see if we make a move towards that high here on spec. That'd be a good start to the day if we can get that closed.
Yeah, coming up to a bunch of sell orders now at 305, 310, 315.
Yeah, and you know, the one thing that we're seeing here, if you take a look here on this 3-minute chart, again, this is the 3-minute chart. I'm basically trying to learn the ways of the tuna using that MACD and VWAP and 3-minute chart here. We got the exact type of action that we were looking for, right? We got that pull, shake out the weak hands. Now we're getting the bounce. Really, the question is going to be, where do we sell here? I'm thinking, based on the action that we're seeing, that this high is at least in play, this level. Here we go. We're trading up to it. Let's see what happens here. If we pop through and move up, I'm going to close this trade and wait for another setup. Let's see what we get.
We're about to get some EMA crossings VWAP too. You need to just, I think we need the next candle, next 5-minute candle. At least on my chart. But yeah, it looks like we're about to move up and try to break out and make some pre-market highs with this one, but we still need some more volume in this one. It feels like volume is like really leaving quickly today.
Yep, and we've talked about this before too, 13. This is another common theme. Don't be afraid to pay yourself, right? Don't be afraid to pay yourself on the way up. Let's see. That's why I'm saying here, if we test this 318 and pop through it, I got no problem taking my gains off the table here. We'll wait for another setup. If this really kind of falls out, you know what I should probably do at this point? Well, if I adjust the stop, I'm probably going to get flushed. Maybe I'll just watch it. I already have a stop set for max pain, but I don't necessarily want to give up the gains that I have on here at this point. Let's see if we make a move towards that 318 high. And you know what I might do, 13? I might actually move this stop back up to 3. That way we make sure. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this stop up to 3. We can't possibly lose on this. And let's see now if we take out 318. Okay, we're all set up here for the trade. Let's see what happens.
Sounds like you got a winning strategy going on there.
Well, we just want to make sure that we don't let our emotions or our poor decisions interrupt what has so far worked. We have a plan. We're going to stick to the plan. Here we go. 318.
There we go. I like how we both saw that at the same time.
And I am out. Bang. Sold right near the top of that candle. Great fill. Trade the pool. Bang, bang, bang. Okay. Green on the screen. Let's now wait for another one. What I will say here, ticker SPEC, this might not be done yet, right? So I'm out. But again, in accordance with the plan, if we pop through 18, we're going to take the gains. We're going to wait for another setup or look for another stock to trade here. This might not be done, but we got some green on the screen to start the day here. Great job. Great job, everyone involved. 13, you were all over that. Chat was all over that. That's how we do it here, folks.
Live trading all over it. And you know what? Also, Nexi started getting volume. Smoke Tuna had mentioned that. And we're moving now. We're moving now.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Still a little spready, but we're moving. I noticed that the SPY is
I've got a spread here of about 9 cents. Yeah.
I noticed the SPY is kind of bear flagging right now. So that's going to be something to watch for this week if we come down some more. Nexi, what a move. Go EV, going down. SNGX. You know what's interesting is that this one hasn't, it popped out of the gate and then it came right back down to the demand zone that we had all through pre-market. So this would be interesting.
Yeah, you know what else?
What's that?
That used that VWAP as resistance. That stopped right at the VWAP on that trade back up there. So here we go. So big spread opening up here on Nexi. I beg your pardon. 713 the ask, the bid 683. So definitely spready in here when some of those orders get taken out. Let's see if I can get Pro up
Acon
here.
on its way down. Vince on its way down. I don't know that Vince is bottom, but it's beneath 200 EMA. Not looking great at the moment. Zim, kind of sideways. Just going through all the ones we've been talking about this morning. Nexi, yep, spread right back up to 713. Buy at your own risk, I guess. SLDB still halted. And your MO is not your modus operandi, but the ticker. That one's still That one's still kind of consolidating.
I'll tell you what, though, that daily chart looks good, and so does the hourly. So the longer time, the 3 minute is kind of wicky. There's not really a whole lot going on there, but some of those longer time frame charts look pretty good on MO. UCAR, a penny. I'm going to skip over that one. Smoke tuna, no offense. CLRB setting up. Let's take a look at that. CLRB looks like this moved right through that 320 break. CLRB.
Oh, UCAR does look like it's setting up for its next move
day
up.
high here, 336, a little bit of size above it, 338. Okay, let's take a look at UCAR. 16 center here. Maxim in at 299, out at 314 on SPEC. Green on the screen. Nice scalp.
Excellent.
A little bill. Bear flagging.
Options,
looks
guys.
like he meant
He's pointing out QS.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about the lag. I'm trying to gauge it.
No, I appreciate it. Like you said, we work with what we have here. I can't control the internet here. I can control it at my place, but not in the office. And by the way, thanks for all the compliments on the sweater. Go blue. It's Natty Day. Oh man, I probably didn't even need coffee today. I woke up, I was so excited. Got to see a Lions game yesterday. We got the Natty today. I just woke up in a great mood. Probably didn't even need coffee.
Wasn't yesterday just a whole day of great games?
I mean,
that's what it felt like to me.
The NFL is king, and yesterday is a prime example why. It wasn't even the playoffs, and it felt like playoffs. It was awesome. You're welcome.
Like only 2 games. Job. There was only 2 games this whole week that I think had 0 implications with the playoffs. I think it was the Jets, Patriots, and the Broncos, Raiders. I think those are the only 2 games that had no playoff implication.
And that Jets-Patriots game had another storyline with Belichick potentially coaching his last game for New England, 24-year career. One of the best coaches ever. Smoke Tuna says, Ryan, you just remind me to get coffee. You know what? Then I've done my good deed for the day. So go ahead and get that coffee. VINC, by the way, looks like this is coming in here. Maybe we're kind of finding a bottom right here. The selling seems to be slowing down, 138. I do have some size below, particularly at 130. That's down here. We'll see if we end up getting there. Looking around here, Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla, the Tesla Dragon. Lynn, I'm surprised I haven't heard from that. Maybe I have, and I just missed it. Mystery Man saying, hey, I'm from New England. Well, Mystery Man, if you have any inside info that you want to tell us, let us know. By the way, really quickly here, Tesla did find bottom at 236.5, moved through the VWAP here at 237. Tesla looking like it's going to try to move towards the highs here. Nice little $2 move here. Lynn and Randy tell us all the time they play Tesla for that $2 move. We got one here already. James says Belichick is not Hallis. You got that right. He is not Papa Bear. He is not Papa Bear. Nor is he Vince Lombardi. Nor is he Vince Lombardi for our Packer fan here.
Thank you. I got to point out Carmen talking about BCRX. This one's been moving up great. And I remember this one. This one had what was her name? The biotech queen that you had on Benzinga for some time. She was talking about this one for a while, and I traded it for a while. Carmen, glad you've still had this one on your radar. It's doing great today. And QS looks like it might have found.
Miles took my 6-year-old to the Pats game yesterday. Had a ball. Congratulations, man. Football games in the snow are great. SLDB is open. Let's take a look. SLDB open, pulling back to the VWAP here. I'm actually interested to see what the next trade is here in SLDB. We did done a good job holding that VWAP level. Now it's early. This could easily break down. Part of me wants to take a stab, but another part of me wants to kind of play it safe here. Looks like we're breaking beneath the VWAP 8. Now there's the pull. Okay, there we go. Let's see, though. This is spready. This still might find some support here and turn around. Watching this 3-minute chart here on SLDB.
Yeah. Can't say what's that there's too much enthusiasm right now for VINC. It just doesn't want to seem to turn around. It might, but
Nope.
I'll have to wait and see.
Smoke Tuna saying you have a potential near-term bottom there at 125. So that's the level to watch on VINC. By the way, it looked for a brief second here that SLDB was going to try and bounce as it reclaimed that VWAP. But again, I think a lot of that had to do with the spread here. Looks like we came right back into that VWAP level. If this holds around here and maybe that spread tightens up, may be an opportunity here. Just be careful. This stock up considerably here today.
We are getting some news from the happy hour chat about ONON. There's a rumor of Tiger leaving Nike for them, like Federer did. Yes,
Tiger leaving Nike. Oh, that would. Well, how's Nike reacting to that?
Good question. Let's take a look.
Oh, Vivi was her name. Okay, that was the biotech person. Yeah, Nike here a little soft, not really reacting. Maybe it's starting to react here. No big reaction yet. ONON, that's where the reaction is. This thing traded up from 26.5, currently at 28.20. So about a $2 move there on ONON.
Do kids these days even know who Tiger Woods is?
I mean, I think so, dude. Anyone in the golf universe, no matter how old they are, knows who Tiger is. He's kind of got that Jordan appeal where he's just worldwide well known. And I don't think you have to be a golfer to know Tiger Woods. I mean, I think I guess you'd have to ask the younger folk if they know who that is.
I'm just curious because I'm trying to understand, like, he's got a brand appeal. So I'm just trying to understand, like, does it carry a whole lot of weight for Nike to be selling off massively and on to be going up like it is? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that.
Yeah, neither do I. All I know is just he's been part of the Nike brand for so long. Crocs here. This is the Jay Rice special. Crocs here, big. But what was the news here on Crocs? Let me see if I can I did not look at this prior to the market. Let me see if I can pull this up here in Pro.
SLDB is kind of still trading at VWAP, and it looks like in a maybe a next 10 minutes or less, it might try to take out the 904 high that it made, but I think that's only if it holds this area here.
Man, I have internet. I'm going to have to just stick with Trade the Pool here. My internet issues are stopping me. So help me out with the news, 13, if you don't mind.
Sure. What's the news you're looking for?
Crocs here. Gary was asking, have you checked on Crocs? I noticed had a huge candle here. I was just wondering if there is any news. And Jay Rice mentioning that Abercrombie also ripping here. Abercrombie, big pop here. Was this a sector-wide piece of news again? Earnings. Okay, earnings. Beg your pardon.
Yeah, sorry. That's for Crocs.
What you're seeing right there. Okay, so what you're seeing right there is I don't have my newswire available to me like I normally do. And because of that, I have questions about what's going on. Right there, that shows you how just used to consulting that news feed to kind of get squared on whatever is going on there. Just don't have it.
Just
okay.
Going on and on. It's still moving up.
Going on and on.
Yeah.
This was a great call from a while ago.
Yeah, that was Kari brought that to my attention.
Here. All right, looking around. Let's see.
TOI.
Apple at the highs. Tesla looks like it reversed off those highs, but it's not breaking down. It's just kind of a regression to the mean there. Nothing really terrible.
So what are we thinking with all this tech?
I know we've talked about that one a little bit. Just
what do we think with tech here? Are we thinking that this is Are we thinking that this is just a buy the dip, a dead cat bounce, or is this what we've been talking about, where we waited for some weakness in order to buy it all back up and take it to new highs?
Well, so there's two schools of thought there, right? So tech, new highs on the backs of AI. I don't know if we're out of the woods yet there. I'm taking a look here at the Qs, a 13. If I took a look at the daily chart, boy, it sure looks like we're trying to curl and trade back up there as a whole on tech. We'll see if we end up getting that here. At the moment, we're above 400, but it looks like we're kind of struggling to hold that there. I think that part of what we're seeing here, 13, is we're not necessarily sure where the rotation this year is going to be. And I think there might be some back and forth before we kind of figure that out. But like I said, looking at the daily chart here on Qs, sure looks like we have a potential bounce here on our hands. Nexi, you guys are mentioning Nexi, a number of mentions in the chat there. I swear, I could use our chat as a scanner, 13. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Nexi popping here, 8 highs.
Shoot. And all I did was say, hey, this is starting to move slowly out the gate. And then everybody was just on it. And now look at you guys. You guys are just making money off. This is awesome. You guys are awesome.
And you know what else is awesome about that? This is exactly what we look for.
This one looks good too. This one looks like it's trying to break the 200 EMA on the 5. I'd be looking for a run to 4 if we break that. Very spready though.
4, yeah, 4. We actually had a high candle. I think this was from Friday. Yeah, this was from the 5th. So that 4 level, we actually had a candle that popped us there and it found some resistance there. Maybe if we get back up to that 4, you could have a break on this chart here. Volume not as high as I'd like to see it on MINM, but maybe we're just early to it. That's what we saw on Nexi.
Yeah. Yeah, we're starting to get up there now. It's very slow moving, but we're making it's hitting higher prices right now.
I have 834 as the high print from Friday.
This was the one that, oh no, this is not. I thought this was a different one, but I have a bunch of levels on here. And after 4, I have 460 and then 620. 5 might be a level 2, but I don't have it marked.
It looks like a pop here. This is spread. So it looks like on MINM, we had a pop there that spread at about 20 cents.
Just be careful with that one, with how spready it is.
Yeah. SLDB here. So this is interesting, right? We really seem to be hovering right around that VWAP on SLDB. We had that big move. We had a nice little pull, regression back to the mean. Looked like it tried to bounce there. It's pretty much all over the place now, but it's staying. It's trading back and forth, but it's trading back and forth around that VWAP line. So we'll see if SLDB sets up here.
I'm not in PYPL, but I've been PayPal, but I've been talking about it a lot. And I was looking for this inverse head and shoulders with a bounce off the 50-day SMA, and it looks like it's still resolving that same way. We're up to the 200-day, I'm sorry, the 20-day SMA right now, and you might maybe break through that or kind of go sideways a bit before moving up higher. I'm still looking for that technical pattern to resolve, but at the same time, I also mentioned the fundamentals on this weren't enticing to me, so that's why I'm not in it.
Yeah, and we do have a consolidation area here on PayPal between about 61.25 up to maybe 62. So when we get into that area, we should slow down there and maybe find some or trade back and forth before we can clear that out. Jay Rice, one of our market watchers here, lots of reversals, green to red in the Bitcoin names, coin, etc. We talked about Bitcoin earlier. Lo and behold, I took the Bitcoin price off my screen. By the way, SLDB looks like it's trading down now, breaking away from that VWAP. Here's coin. Here is that reversal in coin that Jay is talking about. Pretty strong reversal to the downside. The one thing that I will say here for a potential trade here on coin, maybe we get another, as this moves away from the VWAP, maybe we get a closing of the gap back to the VWAP. That could make for a trade. But to Jay's point here, a lot of red bars here, a lot of selling on coin and a big reversal. This was up early.
Yeah, next he continues to go higher. It's spready, but it's just absolutely taken off.
838. This is good. So,
sorry, go ahead.
You have 10 as a resistance area. Here, let me bring Nexi up.
For Nexi, yeah.
Help. Yeah.
This was that was the same level I mentioned back on what was the 3rd? Was that Thursday? Wednesday. Last Wednesday, this was the one where I was looking at 10, and it happened later on that same day, way after we were done with live trading. So that's the same level I have for this to go. If we don't get there in the morning, maybe watch for later on today to get up there.
And that was
one of those spready ones or low float ones.
You were correct. That last candle there, that was Wednesday that you were talking about. Now I'm looking at this. We are right at the area where we stopped on Friday. This was our intraday high. We actually broke above it, but we're kind of holding out around that area. It'll be interesting to see if we move higher here. Remember, on Friday when we stopped at this area, Nexi broke down the rest of the day, never recovered from there. So keep that in mind if we stop here.
All right, chat. What are you looking at? Acon again?
And while you're pulling up Acon and taking a look at that, I want to we'll throw this out here for discussion. Jay saying coin. It also got 2 analyst comments today, one good, one bad. So this actually brings up a larger point that I have. I'm wondering if we're going to see in Bitcoin, if we're going to see everyone kind of think the same thing, or everyone kind of move to the same camp, or are we going to continue to have these, extreme bears, extreme bulls? By the way, a pull coming here on Nexi. Looks like it did stop there. I got VWAP at 784. We'll see if Nexi pulls back to that level, currently at about 810 here. Jay, do you have any thoughts on where Bitcoin might go as a whole here? Is this a year where more people get on board? I know we're talking about some of these ETFs for the spot price, this and that. Do you think that this is one of those where you're going to have a market on both sides, or maybe do we have momentum in either direction?
I'm just trying to, what I'm waiting for with Bitcoin, because it's above 44,000. That's the level that I have that was resistance previously, like all in the past month, basically in December. We've been trying to get up and stay above that, so that's what I want to see, because the next level that I have to clear is 47,000. These are all levels that I've drawn from a couple of years ago when it was back, or maybe it was 2022. Yeah, 2022, when it was up that high. So that 47 is the next level I think we're headed towards with that one, before we start to see resistance and sideways action.
Looking at the Bitcoin chart here, we're not really breaking down. We are kind of regressing back to the mean, but it seems quite orderly. You're actually seeing more outsized moves in some of those names that Jay mentioned, like Mara and Coin.
Man, Nexi. 916.
So it actually looked like it kind of took a break there and then really kind of just took off here. Still spread. No good entry here for me.
No.
Jay, just in answer to my question here, Jay says, in my opinion, probably needs a rest. Some of these moves are huge, like in Coin and Mara. Yeah, I'm with you there. Like I said, the Bitcoin move here, or the move in the Bitcoin futures, I beg your pardon, slowing down here. Maybe it is taking that rest, but not breaking back down. So definitely want to see that.
Spec. Nope, no. I thought Spec was about to try to take out the high. It's getting smacked down.
Nexi spread maybe tightening up. No, it's still jostling back and forth. We'll take a look at Spec here. Spec is breaking off that VWAP. Here we go. So this is going to lose. This is right where my first stop was when we were trading Spec, 283. We came down to this level. It'll be interesting to see if it holds this. I'm going to kind of watch this one here for a sec. Smoke Tuna calling MINM. I'm going to bring that up on a separate chart, but I'm going to keep Spec on the main chart here. MINM maybe curling 395 looks to be the spot there.
Yeah, almost to 4.
Let's see if Spec holds this 283 that it pulled to. So far, so good. Reclaim a VWAP at 3 would be bullish. Go ahead, 13. Sorry.
Go EV, bouncing off the 65 EMA on the 5-minute. And don't worry about the whole talk. We don't have the ability to align our internets right now.
Our internets. TGTX, by the way, doing a really good job holding above 20, going for that 2050 spot. TGTX, massive winner here. ACON, also getting support from the 65 EMA on the 5-minute. Ooh, you know what? We are watching Spec here. I'll come back to this. Smoke Tuna's on to something, though. CLRB setting up for a pop here. This doing a really good job. You can see it's really holding that VWAP. The pulls back down to the VWAP. This, to me, tells me this is where the good entry is. Okay. So we just broke through this area here, 330, 329. We got to pop about 4 cents above that. I've got the high print here at 336 with some size waiting there at 336, again at 338 and 340. We'll see if this has the juice to do it. For a potential new trade here, I'd like for this to be closer to the VWAP. You can see the pulls back down to the VWAP have been viable as we've gotten a bounce back from that. Now it looks like we are trying to trade higher here. Let's watch CLRB. Great call here, Smoke Tuna.
Yep.
And we're going to take this time here to kindly ask that you smash up the like, or just gently click it if you don't like the whole hyperbole with smashing it. Anyway, hit that like button for 13, filling in here for us. Absolutely love it. Early on a Monday, 13. Can't thank you enough. But also, be sure to smack up the like for our chat, which is literally acting as a scanner here today. You folks are what make this show. Give yourself a like for that. Yeah, chat. Let's go, Alyssa. Let's go. Where'd Shelly go?
And
Nobody, and Shelly just bounces? Come on now. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
MINM. It's got a lot of it's got some asks for 4, and it's about to get there. So I think that would be my exit if I was in this one. And who knows? I might even go higher than that.
CLRB still kind of flirting with this 330 area. This is why I didn't want to get too excited on that initial upside break, because like I said, we haven't seen those big moves come from those upside breaks, but rather from the pulls that then turn into red to green moves here. So we'll see on CLRB. Would love for this to pull back to the VWAP. Would just absolutely love that. Slam the like for these two handsome fellas. Hey, Jay, go blue. Go blue. Do me a favor, and I want all you folks to be witnesses here. Jay, I'm just going to say something. I know this game tonight means a lot for people in this state and for people in this company and for fans across the nation. But I'm going to say this. Bring home a victory or don't come home.
Might want to put some eyes on MO. It looks like it's starting to get out of that consolidation. It's slow moving, but it's starting to make that move, it looks like.
Yep, here you go. And again, for me, the chart that is really the MO chart for me here is this hourly. You can see we really kind of pushed up into this area. We've done a good job with the price discovery. This sure looks like this wants to go higher here. Let's see if we break above 42. Shout out, who was this earlier? I apologize for forgetting your name. Might have been a John or an Alan. Anyway, I really, really apologize. Great job bringing this to our attention here. This is actually a really good chart here on the hourly. A daily chart, again, if we can set a higher high here, daily chart, we might be moving even higher, maybe towards a 45 handle.
CLRB.
I've got the high print of the day, 41.69. CLRB, going back to it.
It's trying. It's trying, Ryan.
There we go. Another break higher here. I got size at 345 on CLRB. Let's see if we take that out.
Oh, it just disappeared.
Alan, I'm in it. It was me. Good job.
ON is
they
pulling
eat some
back.
of it? I see some on the time and sales. Maybe they ate some of that.
Yeah, ON pulled back a bit here. It's looking like it might try to make another run, but just keep that your eye on it, because it's kind of flagging a bit.
Yep. Good job holding here, 28.50. We'll see on ONO. I'm interested in CLRB. I think we're at a decision point here. CLRB.
Yeah. And we are going a little bit higher.
Continuing to push higher here. And so now looking at the ladder here, we do have some size above here, okay? 346, your current high print. Size at 348, more size at 350 here. At some point, this is going to take a break and come back in. That might be a viable spot for a long side trade.
And MINM, right to 4, and we're pulling back a bit, but it looks like it's consolidating to set up for the next move through 4. So that's another thing to watch. You
got that right. Spec breaking down. Good call there on Mark, or good call there by Mark, excuse me. MINM, I agree with you here. 13, a punch through 4, especially if we get some increased or expanding volume here. This might be on 2. Currently got a 13-cent spread on MINM. Jay saying Lions and the University of Michigan making up for the lowly Pistons. Indeed. Indeed. Let me tell you something. There was a stadium full of happy fans at Ford Field yesterday. That is for sure. So exciting time.
And there's MO. Still slow, but it's got a new high now. New high of the day.
VINC, this has pretty much just been a waterfall here. I know we got a little bit of a bounce there off that 135. Smoke Tuna's spot here, 125. We'll see if we trade down there in reverse. I have a low print of the day at 131. We're almost right there, VINC. I see a couple of chatters mentioning NVIDIA here in the chat.
Yeah.
At 13, I know you were talking about the tech trade here. Looking at NVIDIA here, nice move on the daily chart here above this recent range. I know it's not an all-time high. Let me zoom out here. Or is it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. New all-time high here.
This is moving on the
nice
Reuters report, I believe, about NVIDIA to launch China-focused AI chip in the second quarter this year.
Yeah, and remember that China AI, that was the whole thesis of the next bullish move up here. So not surprising to see this action happening here on NVIDIA.
Next, with a big pull.
Is it a buyable pull?
CLRB is moving. It's making its way.
Well, I tell you what, 13, it started to slow down for a little bit, and then all of a sudden things started to speed up here. I can't even roll through the tickers here. You're absolutely right on CLRB 350 up here now. We talked about it about that as a level. They're taking it here. They're hitting it. It looks like they're actually refilling it as well, CLRB.
And BCRX, you guys are finding all the winners today.
Yeah, you sure are. I'm telling you. Here we go. 350 up again. CLRB. Let's see if we punch through it here. Volume looks good. A little bit of a bid beneath it here on CLRB 347.
Looks
Again,
like
I'm pretty. There it goes. 350 down. We go higher here. Let's see if we pull or we go higher. Remember, no position here in CLRB. Really watching the action here. Smoke tuna on CLRB. If this 3-minute close above the candle before, then wait to buy at the VWAP. Smoke tuna, it's exactly the plan. I've been waiting for this to come back into the VWAP. You can see the VWAP has provided excellent support all day here. We are getting a nice push away here. I would say as far as strategy goes on this, if you've been playing VWAP pullbacks as your entry, be sure to pay yourself on the way up. I can't tell you where this stock's going to go or how high it's going to go, but what I can tell you is that when you're getting the move in your plan, don't be afraid to take some of that off. Look what we just had here. We had CLRB taking out that 350, going as high as 352. Big pullback here. We've been expecting it. We've been talking about it. This is why you pay yourself on the way up.
Speaking of pullbacks,
1 hour loop. Good morning. I love the new set, Ryan. I am in the HQ, baby. Benzinga HQ. You know they do the setups here. Great. The camera here is great. I was worried today. I had to wake up early, make sure I was shaved. I knew I was going to be full HD. Didn't want to let you guys down. So appreciate that shaved. 1 hour loop. Good to hear. Your beard's part of the show. It needs some Twitter account.
Okay. Oh, no. CYCC. This was brought up by somebody in the trade chat. Please post if that was you. This one's looking like it might make its move.
CYCC, we saw a pull off the in the pre-market here and a slow curl up. That's actually been an easier trade. Worth noting, by the way, CLRB has already tried to make another move back up towards that 350. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Remember, no position, so I'm not speaking with my portfolio. Just saying here, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this one is not done. We might see new highs, meaning highs above this 352 level, but don't be fooled. We might pull before that happens. So be careful if you're going to trade that.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught it. UCAR had a big pull, made a big U-turn, and it found support at 15 cents. See what I did there? And now it's. I mean, this is a very, very small price stock, so trade it at your own risk. But it looks like it's trying to find or it's trying to come up that 15-cent support area. Acon, I think. Acon's interesting because if it continues to hold this 65 EMA on the 5-minute that I have here, it could be the next one to curl up and move off that support level.
Yeah, and for me on Acon, I brought it up on the screen here. You can see 440. What is that? 443. I beg your pardon. This has actually done a pretty good job holding at the one candle where we punched through that 443 and went down to 430. Immediately got bought back up. So be interesting to see what we do right here. 443 right here. A little bit of size at 440, but not a whole lot. Let's see if we bounce. Acon. This is a good call here. Good call here, Joe. Jeff D's, JD's. Good morning. Acon and Young Jeezy. I knew that was going to happen. You know what? Okay, so we're an hour and a half in, so it's not bad. We got an hour and a half in before we got an Acon reference. So
we have Miles bringing up Z-Car. I'm going to take a look at that one.
Okay, and we have
U-Car and Z-Car now.
We got we need W-Car next, right? We need something like that. Here we got Acon looking like it's trying to reclaim 450. 460 would be a decent reclaim. I've got size at 465, 6, and 8 on the way up. We'll see if Acon can start to move. You know what I like about this trade setup here, 13? We've got the VWAP at 540. We've got a current price here about 460. We got some good range in here if this is going to make a regression back towards the VWAP.
Looking for a dollar capture? Is that what you want?
Just about. Yeah, just about. It would be about 80 cents from here. You know what, though? Let's see. You know what? I'm going to take a stab at this.
Yeah. Keep
I'm gonna take a stab at
MINM
this.
on your radar too. It's a little spready, but it's trying to take out 4, just very, very slowly. So maybe take a look at that if that's your risk profile.
Okay, in the trade here on Acon long 300 shares, let's see if we make a move back up towards that 480 level. I do want to set a stop here just so I don't get absolutely punished, but so far the trade is working. Let's go ahead and get a stop in here. Probably put a stop right around 450. Let's get that in here, 450 stop loss price. Accept. Okay, so we're set up here. Let's let this work for us. Remember, we're already got some green on the screen. We're 1 for 1 here today. Basically, what I've done with my stop here in terms of strategy-wise is I want to make sure that if this trade comes against us and doesn't work, I don't want to give up all of the gains that I have, so I have a little bit tighter of a stop. If I get shaken from this position, no big deal. I've already got green on the screen. I already have a plan. Now we're coming back into 450. Let's see.
I just tried Acon. My stop just filled, so just a tiny smidge off that one. I was trying to see if it would break out there too. It didn't work. Some things don't work out. It's fine.
Some things don't work exactly, but that's exactly. Keep the protection in there, and we'll always be looking for setups. Okay, let me go ahead and get back to the chat here. FSR huge sell off. Miles calling Blink. Let's see what Blink is doing here. I guess I can move this off since I already have a stop on here. Looks like we're coming back in. Up. I see some sellers lining up here on Acon 453. Looks like a sell order just came in there, maybe even a sell program. Let's see what this pushes lower here.
MO new highs, BCRX new highs. Good job, those that pointed those out to the group. Excellent.
Okay, Acon hanging in there. I'm going to roll to some of these other tickers that the chat is calling. Again, chat, give yourself a pat on the back. You folks have been awesome here today. Let's take a look here at BLNK. This is Jay Rice's favorite stock, right, Jay? Blink and ChargePoint. Actually, Blink, this had a fairly decent move off of the VWAP, looking like we're getting a pull. Potential trade setup here if we get back to that VWAP and hold, maybe even if we wick below and reclaim potential long there. Do have some considerable size here at 320, which is your high print of the day on BLNK. NKTX from Smoked Tuna. Let's take a look at that here. And, NKTX, this thing, big move here, Tuna. This just riding that VWAP all the way up. See, this move, this is when I got to work on trying to figure some of these out when they really start to have these power candles. Do you see how much different these two starter candles look than the rest of the candles that we've seen before? That coincides with some of this bigger volume here. That tells us that something's going on. Would have been awesome to hit this one a little bit earlier. Nice on this one. Hopefully you got this, Tuna.
So NKTX is moving on an updated corporate presentation, and I think the fact that they mentioned their cash equivalents being 278 million is definitely changing the price because of their cash position. So.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I will say here, this upside move, again, I'm not sure if any of you are already trading this. I was a little bit late to it, although this has been moving all morning here. If you're trading that, here we are at the highs. Let's see if we set new highs here. Day high 798.8 up here. Looks like that was a new high. 799 prints there. Did we get it? And 8 prints and through. So NKTX, wow, big winner here. Big winner here on NKTX. Let's take a look at CDIO next.
Yeah, great job on KTX Smoke Tuna. That's awesome.
And actually,
I'm not in it.
This CDIO here, hourly chart looking pretty good, rounding up off that 230 here, right back to where we really kind of fell out of bed. This looks like on Friday at CDIO. A reclaim here, maybe we can work our way back towards 3 CDIO. I see some size 266 on the upside there.
Zim?
FSR all-time low, the next Mullen. Ryan saying Jay Rice 100-1 split incoming. Boy, we sure know what to do when we see those 100-1 splits, don't we?
Look at something else.
That nonsense. Exactly. Well said. Look at something else. That is exactly it.
Wow, NKTX.
Smash up the like for 13.
Oh, come on. It's not. Don't like it because we've got jokes. Like it because we're all making money.
No, dude, we are of the group here. We laugh at dad jokes in this group.
All right.
NKTX here. High CLRB going here. Multiple calls in the chat on CLRB, looking like that's retesting that 350. Interesting note here on CLRB. We actually pulled back towards the VWAP, didn't quite get there, and we did bounce. Like I said to you earlier when we took this off our screen, this might not be done. Maxim, looks like you hit this again. Congrats, man. Good morning. Good Monday for you.
CDIO going.
352, your high spot. I got size at 356 above. I wouldn't be, if we pop through 352, look for this to stop at 356. Maybe you'll get a pull there. MINM through that 4. Good call there. Another scalp. I see size adjusting here on CLRB. God, this TGTX. Jay, when I get down to Arizona in February, if you want to meet up for a drink, let me know. I definitely owe you one for this TGTX. You were my good luck charm. My first trade in it wasn't very good. My second trade in it, winner on both ends, stock and options. We'll take that.
Market Sniper got an NKTX at 750. I don't know if you said that. I was looking at something, but awesome.
NKTX breaking above that 8 handle. It's going.
Yeah, some of these don't even have levels for us, so I don't know where they could end up at.
It's like they've run too much, right? But here's the thing. So here's another thing to keep in mind with some of these. Okay, here's another thing to keep in mind. Some of these that you're going to see, some of these big runs here, like if we take a look at NKTX, I can't tell you if this is going to stop or where exactly this is going to stop. Look at the move that we have here. At some point, there is going to be a regression to the mean. The good thing to note, 13, you talk about this sometimes. This is now going to appear on relative volume scanners for sessions ahead. So keep that in mind, because the trade, if you miss the trade here today, we actually might get a setup for a trade tomorrow or even the day after. So keep that in mind here, NKTX. We'll keep an eye on this one.
And look at the daily on that one. You get, if you look to the left a little bit, you can see that we're coming up to a supply zone here between we'll call it 860 and 1060. So that $2 range there, we got some supply. So that's probably where we're going to see either one or two things happen. We'll probably see it go up to that area, maybe stop, pull back a bit. Yeah, and where are we at? We're not at 860 yet. So 860, I would say that's probably where.
Nope, not yet.
No, yeah, we're not there yet. So just I would say watch that level or consider it, because when you look to the left on a daily, it starts to look a little bit crowded in that range.
Oh, and VINC, good call here on VINC. We've been kind of bashing this one all day as it's continued to trade down, excuse me. Maybe we did come off that bottom spot. 135. Tuna, you had 125. You were pretty close. That is literally 6 cents off of the bounce spot to the penny. Really good call here. This looking good here now on VINC as we take out this area in here where we kind of slow down. Let's see if it's got the juice to move back to the VWAP. Looking at it now, we're only 7 cents away. So, you know, your trade plan is going to have to determine whether or not you're going to trade this, but we are getting that rounding formation here, Tuna. Good job not taking this off of your radar and coming back to it when we actually got that. Yes, Glenda, good question here. Is there any way you could put the ticker on your screen so that it's easier to see? Yes, I can do that. I'm on a new computer, so I actually did this last week and made it easier. I am on a new computer, which is why it wasn't set up here already. But you know what? Let me go ahead and take care of that for you right now. Let's go ahead and make this a yellow.
It might not be anything, but because of Blink moving up, I thought, okay, well, let's see what F-Cell's doing, because that's kind of been that similar space. It looks like it might make a move. Just maybe put it on your radar. I'm not sure about that one.
I beg your pardon. Is this F-Cell that you said?
F-Cell, FCEL, yeah.
FCEL. Really quickly, Glenda, I went ahead and changed the watermark here to yellow so that you can see the companies. Tell me if this is easier for you to see now. Let me know if that's better. Should be.
Look at that. I don't remember who smoked tuna. Yeah, MINM broke through 4, and now it's now that's support. 4 is now support. Awesome. Spec is still sideways. Maybe watch for that one to break out to the upside or downside later. I'm not sure which direction, but sideways tends to mean it's gonna break out pretty handily.
This to me still looks kind of weak here. MACD is not looking great. Both these lines are pointing down. The histogram actually looks like it's starting to expand to the downside, although that might just be very close. We'll see. And a low print here off this move here. I've got it 266. We're pretty much right there. Be careful on SPEC. To your point, it could bounce, but it sure looks weak here to me. Smoke Tuna saying the same thing. Looks weak here.
I agree.
Tuna, I will say I'm getting more and more of a feel for this MACD on the 3-minute. And you're absolutely right. It does a really good job of kind of giving you that weakness and not being faked out like you sometimes are on a 1-minute chart. So I've really enjoyed adding this to the Trade the Pool platform. This is kind of given me a little bit better feel or a little bit different feel on some of these smaller movers that we trade on a daily basis here.
NKTX just made new highs before it moved on to the next 5-minute candle. Getting a bit of pullback, but it could break that 870. It looks like it's trying to right now.
NKTX. Junior asking, what software are you guys using? Junior, we use Benzinga Pro for the scanner and the newswire. The platform that you see on screen here is from our stream sponsor, Trade the Pool. It is the platform that you use to actually trade stocks for the prop firm. So again, if you're interested in that, check out the description in this video. Trade the Pool can give you up to 260 grand in buying power for you to make your trades. That is the platform that you're looking. Great question here.
Just looking for some moves.
Yeah, SPEC. Now, you mentioned NKTX, right? Because that's the rager of the day here. I mean, we're up, NKTX up 42.7% here. This thing ripping higher here. 9's on deck. I'll be honest, 13, looking at this, there's just no way I can buy this right now. These candles are just way too raging to the upside. I need some sort of pullback or some sort of setup.
I think we might get it soon, as I was mentioning that supply area that we're coming into. So I think we might hit that area real quick here. Still looks good though. Still looks like it ultimately will, go higher, but can't say when.
880 prints here. Yeah, 880 prints here. I'm just going to kind of take a look at the tree here. Do have a little bit of size at 889 and 890. We'll see if that's enough to stop it. This thing's been an absolute rager. I'm seeing a bid coming in now at 877 and NKTX. Again, what I'm going to do right now for myself is I'm not going to get enamored with these vertical green candles and then go start chasing something. That's how I open myself up to a mistake. We don't want to do that here. Let's see if we pop above this 890.
And we are coming to the time of day where volume starts to kind of fade away. So may see a lot less participation.
Yep, 10:37 here. 10:37 here. We got another 20 minutes, 23 minutes here for 13 and I. Jane asking 13, will you be on here regularly? Jane, plans are still kind of formulating. For what I will say here, I've been talking to 13 about this recently. 13, I think, is it safe to say that at minimum this week you're going to be a regular guest?
Sure.
Monday through Thursday?
Sure.
Okay, so there you go. We worked that out. We work that out in real time, Jane. So yeah, again, like I said before, when we were first starting to talk about this, look for us to definitely bring more value and more content here to the show in 2024. In the meantime, 13 has gotten great reviews from everybody in here. It's always nice having another set of eyeballs to help you identify trades. As long as 13 is willing, we will continue to bring him on. If you have feedback for me, if you have feedback for me or anyone else, please email me. I'll go ahead and throw my email in the chat. We are always looking to hear the feedback, good and bad. That is how we get better, and we are all about getting better here at Benzinga. We will find a better way. Jane, you know what's funny about that? 13 is my lucky number 2, and I've told him that before.
Wow, I really am impressed with NKTX. I think we're all thinking the same thing.
This 9 handle here. You know what's crazy here, 13, is that we're actually seeing all of these levels being hit, and we're really not seeing that big pullback, right? Like that's what we've seen in some of these other names, and we're not getting that here at all. In fact, we have no pullbacks to even test the VWAP on this. This thing just massive strength here. Now be careful with this. Biggest volume stick of the day in that last 3-minute candle here. Volume looking good. This is the move you want to sell into. This is the move you want to sell into if you have it. If you don't, be patient, wait for a setup, and then go ahead and attack it. This move, man, just going higher. I really don't want to chase this. I gotta be tactical. Gotta follow our rules here.
Yeah. When it moves parabolic like this, I really get nervous about a big knife coming.
Yep. Kevin saying you both are a great team. We appreciate that, Kevin. I will say here,
thank you.
13 has cut his teeth in the happy hour program. It's one of the reasons I speak so highly about it. We do a lot of discovery, a lot of discussion there. To me, this was 13 and I have built some rapport. This was an easy one for me, frankly.
Yeah, I absolutely love happy hour and everybody that's there. And there's I'm not trying to diminish the incredible brain power and trading capacity for all of you, but for when it comes to for longer term investments, that's a really good group to be talking to, because they have such a really great handle on worldviews and long term investing.
And we've got people from all different backgrounds, which really add to that information sharing. By the way, NKTX looking a little heavy here. We stopped at 949 on the upside. We've pulled back a little, but remember, we have not seen that big pullback yet. Not saying that's for sure going to happen here. This thing's still a little wild. And new highs. All I had to do was talk about a little bit of a pullback there, and we set some new highs. NKTX, this thing an absolute monster here today. Monster move. CLRB not done. Let's take a look at that. Smoke Tuna, you've been all over the trades here today. And by the way, really good call here. We're still kind of trading back and forth in this range, doing a really good job holding above the VWAP. Let's see if we actually trade back towards that 350 top.
CDIO.
And take it out.
Highs.
CDIO. Let's bring that one up here real quick. I tell you what, 13, we had that little lull right after the open, and things have really picked up since then. Really encouraging to see here. CDIO at highs here. If we take a look again, let's consult the 1 hour chart. This is the chart we looked at the last time we pulled it up here. You can see there is this consolidation range. Let's call it between 277 and 295. So you got about an 18-cent resistance area there. We're buttoned up against that. So really what I want to see here for the next move, are we able to take this area out, maybe reclaim 3 and then maybe test 320 to the upside here? Unsure on that, but these are the levels that I'm kind of looking at here. We're going to base that off of a slightly longer time frame.
I noticed that Blink, BLNK, is coming up to the pre-market supply, and looks like 320 is the level it wants to break out of. I see some size. I see some size there at that 319.3. Yeah. Okay. So we'll watch that.
And we're on it.
And FCell. That's okay. So with Blink, FCell was the relationship when I was looking at, because I felt that they both had a pretty similar chart. They're both in the similar space. It's just that FCell, I absolutely despise the company, because it seems like every time that they have a good run, it's like offering time.
Yep. But that, you know what though? So you know what's really important about that? Excellent job recognizing a pattern, right? This is why having familiarity with different tickers is really important. If you've seen something in the past and you've seen that repeated over and over again, chances are we might see that again here. Crow saying, great Monday, guys. Nexi, CLRB, SLDB, NKTX. Indeed, Crow. Great having you here. I love when Mondays start off like this. I really do, because, and maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment, because I honestly feel like when we get a Monday that starts off like this, it often bodes well for the rest of the week. Here we are sitting with green on the screen. Swing is green. The day trades are green. Everything feels real good. All we need is that natty dub tonight.
It's like we were texting each other last night. I was like, I don't know what tomorrow's going to hold for us, but you know what? That's part of the fun. We're going to figure it out.
Absolutely.
And look at this.
Absolutely.
Look at this morning we've had. It's amazing.
We figured it out.
Oh, man. NKTX. It's not done. It's not done, guys. Going to 10.
This thing.
Z-Car. Has a pretty
get out the way
when there's
something big like this. Get out the way. Don't stand in front of that truck. Let me pull up Z-Car.
Zcar. It's
Oh, you know what?
know,
I don't have Zcar in the trade pool.
you don't. Oh, you don't have Zcar. Okay. So it's
No,
really spready. It's really spready, but it's got a bull flag forming on the 5 minute. So
I like that. I like that one. Okay, there's 10 on NKTX. Just pop that 10. This thing is an absolute rager. I think it's safe to say, despite having a good day here this morning, I think it's safe to say that missed this one. Traded the wrong name here this morning.
oh well, other people got it, and that's all that
Traded
matters.
the wrong name. Yeah, that's actually very true.
Heading to 11, it seems. It looks like Acon is not going to recover. It couldn't hold the 65 EMA on the 5 minute, and we're beneath it now with other EMAs about to cross it. When I see that, typically that means we're headed lower. So yeah, I don't know about Acon anymore. I'm not saying that it is going to.
Where is Zcar?
Where is Zcar?
In the garage.
The garage.
Voodoo, shout out to you.
Oh, he's funny. Okay, and we're coming off of that bottoming area. I'd say if we get back above VWAP, Zcar looks like it could maybe make new highs, but it needs the volume, and it's not there right now. The LNK
just had an internet hiccup there. Sorry about that.
The LNK, we're almost to the pre-market highs. Yeah, it looks like all those ones that ran earlier this morning are kind of, well, at least done for now. I don't know if they're done for the day. VINC.
Here, let me flip over.
I think that one's. VINC looks like we're. I don't know. What do you guys think about VINC? You think we hold this area? We might get
VINC looks to me. Sorry, 13. VINC looks like it's trying to hold the bottom here. I got 130, 134, 133 maybe. Let's see if it holds that on VINC.
Yeah, I think 135 myself, but it's the volume is so low. It doesn't have a great looking set of EMAs. I don't know. CDIO, I'm still waiting to see if we can make newer highs. And
here's your pull. We're finally getting a pull on NKTX. Sorry to cut you off there. We had a high print of 1032. We've pulled all the way back here to 944. Let's see if we go lower here. Here's the pull we've been waiting for. I've got VWAP at 884 NKTX.
We have Blink and FCell still slowly making their ways up. Slowly. MINM back beneath 4, but getting support from some of the EMAs. It'd be interesting if we can retake 4. It's just one of those things where it's spready and doesn't have a whole lot of volume right now. Volume's leaving, guys. So
yeah. But we've had a good morning here. We've had a really good morning so far. Got about 12 minutes left here before we wrap up. Thanks everyone for showing up here today. Special shout out to 13 and shout out to the chat. You guys have been absolutely on fire here today. So good start to the week, everybody. Good start to the week.
Smoke Tuna saying B-Fly.
Let's take a look at B-Fly.
This is let's see. Is Butterfly Network? Is that the social media one, the dating one? I'm trying to recall. Let me see here.
I don't know this one off the top of my head. Butterfly. That you might be right though.
No, this is the ultrasound one. I must be thinking of a different one. I remember trading this one and a different one. I think that was some kind of social media site. I might be thinking of something else though. But this is the ultrasound one. Medical devices, I still think are still in a good place, and I think that's why I hold MDT. Because I think medical device, yeah. Well,
looking around here.
What are you going to do with the rest of your day?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I am going to work as diligently as I can to attack my entire punch list, all while trying to not look at the clock to count down the time to this game. Because here's the thing, 13, when you start looking at the clock, those hands all of a sudden start to move backwards. And we can't have any of that. We got to get to this game. We got to get that dub. We got to bring it home. So
high school flashbacks. I wanted the period to end, and I just don't remind me.
What are you doing the rest of your day? Cracks knuckles.
Yeah.
Getting ready. How are we doing? How's tech doing here? We had a lot of action in the small cap land. I kind of took tech off the screen. Nvidia pounding those new highs here. Apple at highs here. SPY at highs here. Let's check the Qs and see where we're at there. Anyone trading the Q ETFs, by the way? SQQQ, TQQQ. If we take a look here at the Qs chart, one of the things that we talked about earlier is this hourly, right? Can we take 400 out? Can we start curling? Well, I'll tell you what, based on the candles that we have here so far, sure looks like we did that. Really kind of this, I guess you could say on this hourly chart, this kind of marked a triple top. We blew right through that here today. Volume looks good. Let's see where we end up finishing here. Tech looking strong here today.
I think with the Qs, we'll get a rejection at 403 if we get up that high. I'm looking for the 403 rejection. Maybe we close under 403 after trying to close above it, but not getting it. So we might get a wick. Indicating that we tried to, but I think 403 is the level to get over.
Okay. And actually, there's a gap up to about 407. Okay.
Let me take a look here on different time frames to see what 403 looks like.
Crow saying CLRB could go here. Let me bring that up real quick. I would agree, Crow. So here, just kind of reminder, we've been talking about CLRB a lot here today. Really struggled to get over that 350. I see some size there at 350. The current high of day is 352. We're curling right back up there. Every time it's come back into the VWAP, it's bounced. Crow, looks like we did get that VWAP bounce here. Came right into 331 and bounced. Let's see if 350 falls.
Yeah, pretty good size at 350. So if we start to see, I mean, I'm going to probably take a stab at that if I start to see that size get eaten up.
I might as well get my order entry ready just in case, 13. NKTX at VWAP. Oh, yeah, big pull on NKTX right back to the VWAP. Great call, Miles. Great call. Yeah, I'm going to try to jostle between these. I've got no position on either, so apologize if I go slowly back and forth. NKTX. Oh, excuse me. Right back to that VWAP. Let's see if this holds here. Good thing here about NKTX2, spread tightened up here 3 to 5 cents, it looks like. It's trying to bounce. Let's see if it can strengthen up here. Got about 8 minutes left before we end here for today. Junior, you're welcome. Thanks for joining us here today. Love having you.
Yep. And if anybody's on Benzinga, you know, we have the happy hour chat channel, and I'm typically in there most of the day, if not all the day. So if you guys need to talk more stocks, I'm happy to do it in there. There's a lot of us in there that talk all the time.
13, that's a really good point. I know everyone's schedule is a little bit different. And for you pro members out there, if you cannot make that happy hour show between 4 and 5, as 13 said, we also have a complimentary chat channel for that program in Benzinga Pro. So if you want to see some of the different things that are being discussed or some of the different issues that we're talking about, you should be able to keep up with it right through that chat channel, even if you can't make the meeting itself.
MINM got back above 4. It bounced off the 9 EMA on the 5 minute. That's on my chart.
NKTX here looks like it is bouncing.
Yeah, it's still pretty spready. NKTX, let me take a look at that.
What I like about this is that the spread has tightened up a little bit. It's not perfect, but it has tightened from what we saw earlier here.
CLRB still trying. But I think that's what I'm going to go with. Let me take a look at that chart again. If we can get past that 350, or if it starts to get eaten up pretty handily, I think I'd want to get in for that breakout.
I'll pull it up here on a different screen so I can maybe keep an eye on it.
Maybe
sight, out of mind. NKTX, this bounce looks like it's happening. Let's see if that CLRB is the next one.
Looks like BNZI is trying to come off that bottom. I'm not too enthusiastic about that one, though. Yeah, I'm not.
BNZI,
I'm not
that
seeing
looks
too
like
many.
that's still kind of weak here.
I'm not seeing too many. Well, except for maybe BCRX. I think this, just doesn't want to stop going up. But it seems like a lot of these are pretty much done for now, I would say. Yeah. But hey, like you said, it's been a great morning.
It
If
has,
I had Mondays
really
like
has.
if I had Mondays like this, I think life would be a lot better.
Yeah, I think that goes
You
for
know?
a lot of us. Yeah, I will say the one thing that trading really did for me, the one thing that it really did for me is it changed the entire way that I feel about Mondays. When I was in school, it was, oh my God, Monday, I've got to go back to school, another long week. When I had some other jobs that weren't nearly as fun or rewarding as the current role that I have, it was always, oh, Monday, it's the start of another long week. But as traders, it's the start of our week, baby. Give it to us. Sometimes the weekends can be the hardest ones to get through. So shout out to trading for changing Mondays for the better for me. Good stuff there.
Yeah, the only one I can really see that's still moving up is BCRX. Everything else seems to be going down or sideways.
BCRX, another power candle here. And look at that, the biotech theme. That biotech theme for 2024.
Just thinking about that.
Man,
we're calling it the Ryan.
Thank God it's Monday. So thank God it's Monday. Market Sniper. We might be the only people on the internet that are going to be typing those letters. Which we might anger a lot of people.
Only football fans. Only football fans will be too. But we don't have a game this Monday, right? We don't have a game today.
Natty. We got
that one. Yeah. I was referring to NFL, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no. Technically, the Monday night game was the Saturday game this week. It's Cha-Ching Monday. James, I don't have my soundboard, but I could get used to that. I'd be ringing that register right now if I had it right in front of me. Well, I can get down with that. Cha-Ching Monday. Let's go. That's how we start up a week. Apple still holding out at highs here, by the way. Looking around here. CLRB. Let's go back to that, because I still think that might set up. Even if we don't get this pop through here, we're going to be signing off in just a couple of minutes here. Here we go. CLRB. Let's see. 350 test coming right now. Let's see what we do here. I got big size there at 350.
Yep.
The crow giving you the true degen advice. Trade Bitcoin on the weekends when you get withdrawals from not being able to trade the market. Oh, crow. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, frankly.
Does it have volume? I'm trading it.
Exactly. Is it moving? Let's go. Yeah. Giddy up. ELEV, Miles. We'll take a look at that here real quick. ELEV, another micro cap here. This was a penny stock this morning, has popped considerably. We are extended away from the VWAP here on ELEV.
So what is ELEV short for? Elevator? Because it is going up.
Elevation Oncology. But I see
oncology. Okay, well, there you go.
Like yeah.
More biotech.
More. MOAR, as the kids say. Here, still waiting on CLRB. Let's see what happens at 350 here.
NKTX is getting VWAP support. This is looking interesting here.
Sure is. Now, the bounce that we've got so far off the VWAP looks fairly weak, so I wonder if that's going to roll over here. Remember, if you're going to trade some of these flyers here, especially for bounces, just have a plan for the downside in case it doesn't work. If it does work, great. You already know how to do that. But if it doesn't work, have a plan to get out so you don't get yourself in pain or put yourself in an area of pain.
Yeah, just remember, if the stops aren't
and as
tight,
far as NKTX
right.
here, I like that too. 919 looks like the level it's got to get above here. A little bit of size there at 922, but we'll see. All right, 13. We got just a couple of minutes left here. It's been a great day here this morning. Again, thank you, and thank you, viewers in the chat. Thank you to our sponsor, Trade the Pool, for allowing us to have this awesome prop tool and awesome platform that you see here on your screen. NKTX breaking down here. So 13, we're going to leave with this. Any closing thoughts here on the day?
It's Monday, and it's the start of the week, so we're only just getting the beginning of what could end up unfolding. There's CPI on the 11th. That could be a very volatile morning. So gear up for that, I would say. Other than that, just watch and see what the broader market does. That's what I'm going to be doing. I don't think there's a whole lot of trades left right now, so I'm just going to do some research.
Yep, I'm with you on that. And I really like what you said there. When you don't have a trade setup, when things seem to slow down, research is always a good answer. So folks, that's going to do it here for us. That's going to do it for us here today. Gosh, I am excited. Go Blue. Big game here tonight for the Natty. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you all for your attention and participation. Guess what? We're going to be right back at this. I'm going to have a great time watching this game tonight, but I will promise you right now that I will be here bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for tomorrow's session. 13 is going to be back with me. We're going to have another good session just like we did here today. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to get 13 out of here. Take care. We are going to move forward. Have a great rest of your day, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow.